Morning. I just wrapped up a roundtable with former federal workers who were hastily dismissed from their jobs by the so-called Department of Government Efficiency. Before I get started, I want to acknowledge two commissioners who participated in that with me. Our Commissioner of the Department of Labor, Roberta Reardon, which oversees the unemployment program, which was a big concern to these individuals, but also Tim Hogues, our Commissioner of Civil Service, as we're working hard to get people positions again. Also joined by Luke Graziani, who's going to talk about his experience a little bit later about what happened to him at the being removed from his position in the Department of Veterans Affairs. We had to keep this meeting closed press to protect the identity of these individuals, because these are fellow citizens who are afraid of retribution from a sitting United States president and his cronies in Washington. Let that sink in. People who are fearful of retribution from the leader of our nation. Now, I will just give you some of the reflections we just wrapped up, but the emotions are raw. This was so wildly unexpected. Some received notification on Valentine's Day. They love their jobs. Some of them were on probation, some literally days away from having permanent status. They found the whole experience degrading, dehumanizing. There's anger, but immediately their thoughts turn to the impact on their families. Children who need their parents to bring home a paycheck. Losing health insurance. Some individuals spoke about their own physical needs. One individual had a compromised immune system, needs expensive treatment every month. His wife also needs to go through therapy for a recent surgery. And how are they going to pay those bills without health insurance? Talk about the bills piling up on the table already. It's a time of high anxiety for these individuals, these public servants who did nothing other than to say, and many of them left the private sector because they feel so strongly about serving others. That's what public service is all about. It also has an impact on the public. These are individuals, whether it was people at the IRS who are investigating corporate tax scams that were defrauding money from taxpayers overall. These are people at the Consumer Protection Bureau, CFPB. What were they doing? They're protecting consumers from scams and companies that were trying to harm individuals' credit scores. The list goes on. The reality is, this has caused undue harm, not just to these individuals and their families and the shock of what they're going through. And this is just a snapshot, this handful of individuals. And it's going on all over New York. It's going on all over America, and particularly hard-hit Washington. I want them to know that we'll work with them. They are New Yorkers. They're part of our families. And we offered some suggestions of what we can do. Again, back to Luke. Luke lives in Queens. He served our country for 20 years, including 4 tours in Afghanistan and Iraq. Willing to put his life on the line for all of us. He's working at the Bronx VA's office before he was deemed government waste in this reckless, ongoing employee purge. To us, he's an American hero. He fought for this country and now is working in an agency that serves sick and needy and injured veterans, and terminated by Elon Musk and his clueless cadre of career killers. These are patriots, they call themselves, putting America first. Give me a break. They know nothing about the functions of government. They don't know who it serves, and they don't care about the tireless public servants who keep it all running. They protect our skies, keep planes from coming down. They maintain our national parks, our military facilities. They ensure our food and medications are safe. And they predict the path of deadly storms, something we know a great deal about here in the state of New York, having come through 2 hurricanes, unprecedented tornadoes, 2,000-year flooding events, horrific blizzards, and many other challenges that we have now. We need to know with certainty and predictability what's happening. And also, these people are the ones searching for medical cures that could save your family member's life. None of this seems to matter to Donald Trump and Elon Musk, not at all. For them, it's just fodder for this cheap second-rate reality show. You're fired. It's fun for them to say that. They fail to recognize that they're affecting people's real lives and their livelihoods. These are essential jobs requiring many years of specialized experience done by real people, as I said, with bills to pay and families to support. They should be commended for their service, not mocked by the president and handed a pink slip. Now, here's the deal. The current regime in Washington may not recognize your talents, but I can assure you, New York State does. We don't vilify public servants, we value you. We cherish your contributions, and we do want to welcome you to the New York family. So we just launched a campaign to recruit federal workers ousted by the Trump-Musk administration. Got what I think is a rather clever design. Really detailed information on how to get out of the situation they're in, talking about specific programs, our Veterans Temporary Hiring Program, how we have a program that'll temporarily remove the civil service exam so we can get people in sooner, the Empire Fellows Program. Here's real information on how to get yourself a job here in the state of New York. It's important. So our message is simple. While DOGE says you're fired, we say you're hired. And today we're expanding that campaign, beginning this morning. Anyone traveling through Union Station in our nation's capital or Moynihan Station right here in New York, you'll see giant digital billboards that reads, "New York wants you," for a career in public service. And this Thursday, the Department of Labor is going to host a series in free virtual webinars for displaced federal workers and those who expect to be let go in the future. This is just the first wave. I hope you realize that. This is just the first. It's going to continue. And I want everyone to have this brochure and understand how to apply, and let you know this good news. In the state of New York, we have 7,000 public sector job openings. We're looking for qualified, experienced candidates across a wide variety of fields. I need technologists, I need engineers, I need attorneys, healthcare workers, educators, public policy experts, and so many more. This recruitment effort is part of our ongoing effort to rebuilding the public workforce after it's been decimated, particularly during COVID. We've had to hire thousands more and lifting barriers to entry to government work because this work is essential to everyday New Yorkers who may not realize but there are people out there working for you every single day with heart and passion. Like I said, we've waived certain test requirements, launched 10 new job centers, and expanded opportunities for veterans and people with disabilities. We've also expanded paid parental leave to 12 weeks for the entire state workforce. We reformed Tier 6, ensuring state workers get retirement benefits they deserve. That's how you take care of and value your public sector workforce, because taking care of them means they're taking care of us. So here's my message to any public sector worker who suddenly finds himself out of a job. New York does want you. New York needs you. Come work in the greatest state in the nation. We won't denigrate you. We'll treat you with dignity and respect that you deserve. Because in New York, we know it's not the demagogues and the technocrats who make America great. It's public servants like Luke and all the people I just met and countless who came before then who dedicate their lives to serving others. Now we'll take a few questions.
We'll start with on topics about federal workforce. Jessica?
Governor Hochul, I think a lot of people are thrilled that you're doing this and applaud you for it. On a broader level, there's a lot of confusion and frustration. What are Democrats doing to fight back against this swath of dramatic changes that are impacting millions of people's lives?
It starts in the courts. We've had some success in the first wave of this litigation battle. Working closely with our Attorney General and my legal counsel, we are ready to file lawsuits to stop anything, particularly this first wave of layoffs for provisional individuals because the proper notice wasn't done. They didn't follow any rules. They did not follow a single rule. They think they are kings and they can just come in and do whatever they want. So in the courts, we're starting here. And this is probably our best defense right now because, unfortunately, we do not have any allies who are in a position of power in Washington. We don't have control of the House, the Senate, and certainly not the White House. So in the meantime, the states have to step up. This is what we can do. We'll see them in court, but also let's take care of these people. Let's not have them worry about their health care, whether or not their child's going to get medical treatment for their own families. But also, I want the research done to protect our families. I want to know when the storms are coming. I want to make sure that our consumers are protected. I want to make sure that we have people who work in cybersecurity to protect us from all those threats that people are trying to harm us here in New York. That's what it's all about. Don't forget the value of these people.
Yeah, in the back.
So you're planning to hire like hundreds of probably people from federal government. How are you gonna add this to your budget when New York State doesn't have even enough money to give money to the MTA for the last capital plan and the new one? How are you gonna get that money? Where is it coming from?
It's already budgeted. These positions have been in our budget, already accounted for with the current dollars that we have to fund them. So that these are not new positions, they're vacant positions. That's the difference.
Vern?
Governor, will any of these fill some of the positions for correctional officers that you guys have started firing, and also for the Labor Commission? What does that say? You know, it's a pro-union state, and you have workers striking for better conditions. How do you square that?
We love that question, but it's off topic. We'll get to you in a second.
I will take anybody who wants to work in public safety. We certainly have openings in the public safety space. Next question.
Rebecca?
You had, once again, in your address here, some strong words about the president saying that federal workers are afraid of retribution. You want to hire them after he fires them. You know, as you are looking to hire more federal workers that the federal government has just laid off, are you concerned that this is sending a message to the president that you are defiant in a way that he might punish New York for?
I can't look for ghosts and be stopped from what I need to do as the governor of this state. I'm not going to live in fear. I'm going to be strong in defending New Yorkers, our values, and our rights. And these are New Yorkers who've been given the pink slip, unceremoniously dumped without all the procedures and protocols and protections that are required by law. So we're not going to let anyone get away with that. We will stand up. I'm not looking for new fights. If they bring everybody back, the fight's over, right? I'm not looking for this. I've got a state to run. But as I said from day one, when we are under attack, we are fighting back.
Any other on topics? Yeah.
Governor, you say you have thousands of public job openings in the state. Isn't there some silver lining then for you if there are cuts in the federal bureaucracy?
I have these openings, but I also know the human toll it is taking. I don't want to be the beneficiary of the pain that is being experienced by these individuals. You had to see the people in this room. Some were almost in tears, so anxious, so stressed out, strong people who've had their whole lives turned upside down. I do not want to have us capitalize on that pain and misery. I'd rather they get the job that they fought for, they worked for, that they felt committed to. But in the case where there is someone who just does not want to go back now or is not allowed to go back, yes, this is an opportunity for us to let them know we value them.
In the back.
Yeah. Hi, Governor. Has there been any hiring or applying to date? And if so, if you could share those numbers.
Anything yet? We're just starting.
We just started.
We're just starting. We just made this up. Looks great, doesn't it? It's a good one. But we'll keep you updated on this, and I hope there's many. Again, we have so many fields where I need technologists and people to work in social services, and these are really good professions and good careers, especially as I've worked to let these people know their value, but also to make sure that they have the benefits, because we are in competition with the private sector. That's my challenge. I'm in competition for the top attorneys, the top engineers, people to work at Department of Financial Services, those who will fight for these. I need talented people, and in a place like New York City, there's a lot of higher paying jobs. So these are special people who walk away from those jobs and those opportunities and come here, and I want to let them know that we will take care of them.
All right, we're going to move to about 2 off-topic questions, and then I know our commissioners and Luke, our laid-off federal worker, will be able to talk as well. So Bern, because I interrupted you before.
You want to have them, you're going to do them right here? Okay, do off-topic, okay.
We'll do off-topics, and then they can stick around. Bern?
Okay.
Yeah, just going back to my question about the prison strikes, and if the labor commissioner could address this. It's 15 days since the strike began, and now you guys are starting to fire people and arrest them. What is the contingency plan? Last week, one of your officials say 9 out of 10 workers are on strike. So how are you going to backfill those positions? And also, you rejected their top line ask, which is a revocation of the HALT Act. Will that be included?
I will answer this question. I'm intimately involved hour by hour in this crisis that was created by individuals without the approval of the union. You mentioned this is a union state. Yes, it is. There are union representatives elected. This is not a sanctioned strike by the correction officers union. This is a wildcat, unauthorized, illegal strike. So the union is at the table negotiating with us, but the challenge is they agree with our position. They agreed with our position that we came to after having a mediator that they recommended. We worked closely for a number of days, structured a solution that was out there Friday night, and people thought was a good solution until people decided, well, we'd rather stay out on the line. That was their choice. It was not the union's position. I want to be very clear when you mention union workers. Also, to suggest that I'm going to stand here and unilaterally overturn a law that was duly elected or passed by elected officials. I'm not pretending to be the king of the state or the queen of the state. I will follow the law until the legislature, if they choose to make any changes. There is a small area we can suspend certain activities under the HALT Act, and I will want to be very clear on this. People don't understand this. They think it's all about solitary confinement. It also requires that there be 4 hours a day of programming, independent of time that individuals are out for recreation, physical education, et cetera. 4 more hours a day of programming for career services, et cetera. What that has done, that extra 4 hours a day, has required more overtime for people to follow that segment of the law. That is the area that is temporarily suspended because I'm wildly, acutely aware that the hours are just too long, just too long. No one should have to work a 24-hour shift, but it's been part of having to comply with that law that has created this tension here. So we're going to take a step back, a little breather, and we offered this to take a whole look at the situation and work hard to improve I have said all along, these are the toughest jobs we have. And those who stayed on the job, God bless them. They are my heroes, as are the National Guard, 6,500 individuals who left their homes unexpectedly and have now been out there trying to just keep things calm down. And the incarcerated population, things are calm. We have National Guard. We have other correction officers. We have a number of those who came back online. The prisons came back online over the weekend. But we have been giving warnings, letting them know that they face very serious consequences. They're in violation of a temporary restraining order from a judge. They are in violation of the Taylor Law, which every other union wants to make sure is enforced. So that is where we are right now. That's the status.
Okay, last one,
Are you
Ruvain.
worried though, Governor, about what kind of a precedent this sets for other unions? If they see, hey, wildcat strike in New York can go on for 15 days.
Okay,
What's the point of doing
people are being fired. They lost their health insurance today, and this may affect their pensions. I don't think a lot of people are going to want to sign up to be in that situation.
All right, last one, Ruvain.
This morning, NPR host asked you what you thought about Governor Cuomo and her mayor race, and you said you work with a mayor who will continue my policies to make sure we keep the city safe. So, given the criminal justice reforms he signed into law back some years back, working hard to change. I'm just curious, is he the right man to keep the city safe?
Just hold on one sec. Let's have our guests get off the stage. The governor can't.
You can stay or not stay. It's going to be a real short answer. My job is to work with whomever the voters decide they want as their mayor. I would like a mayor who understands that I have invested an enormous amount of time for 3 years to make sure that we have programs and policies in place that'll do more to enhance public safety. We've made dramatic strides in improving public safety on our subways. I'm working hard to change the laws related to incapacitated individuals so I can keep them longer in medical treatment. That's something I have to take with the legislature. I have to change the discovery laws now, the DAs and many groups want to. So I have a lot of work to do with the legislature, but my priority is public safety and also just ensuring that the quality of life improves. So I am expecting the smart voters of this great city to select someone that they believe will accomplish those goals. And in that case, that'll be a partner of mine. Thank you very much, everybody.
On the latest prisoner death across the street from Marcy,
And mid-state.
I'm familiar with it. I'm very familiar with it. It is very much under investigation. Some of the early reports. I'm sorry. Yeah. Deeply troubling. I'm analyzing the early reports on what is happening. The actual cause of death is not known, but it is my highest priority to get to the bottom of this and find out exactly what happened. We'll make sure the press knows as soon as we do. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Just go this way and we'll send you guys back out. Press in the back, if you guys want to talk to Luke, our federal worker who was laid off, we'll bring him back in a couple minutes.